just spoken to you. How is recovery going from the Achilles operation, Anthony?
Yeah, it's going alright. It's going alright. It's just obviously, injuries. It's the worst part about being a professional athlete. You can't do what you love to do. So it's a bit rubbish in that respect. I'm working hard. And what's annoying is people don't see the recovery and the rehab, but I spend more hours doing rehab, spend longer training and such when you're injured to get fit than you do when training for performance. So at the minute I'm spending literally 6 hours a day either in the gym doing my exercises, doing my rehab, doing the really boring monotonous stuff, which isn't making me a better boxer. It's just enabling me to kind of get back to become a better boxer. So it's like I said, this is the hard part, the real hard part about being an athlete. But hopefully, soon I'll be back in the ring, training, fighting, and all this will be a distant memory.
No, definitely. And you said you were looking to be back in the ring soon, training, fighting. Have you got a date for when we could likely see you make a comeback?
Yeah, no, not really. The thing is, again, with Achilles injuries, and I've had both of mine operated on. When you break a bone, obviously, you put the bone back together and put it in a cast or something, then obviously, the bone's got to fuse back together, then you're good again. Whereas Achilles they're not like that. There's still quite a lot of, even the experts, there's so many question marks, over Achilles rehab, and it's different. One day I wake up and I feel really good. Other days I wake up and they'll be really sore. So it's kind of like, it's going to take as long as it takes, unfortunately. There's no kind of time frame. Everybody's Achilles are different. Because I had the issue for a long time and kind of persevered so long, and I kind of knocked down so many barriers to continue to train and continue to fight and compete. They were bad for a long time, so it's going to take longer for them to get better. But if they were sore and 2 weeks later I got diagnosed and had the operation, I'll be right as rainbow now, because I had them for a long time, for years. It's going to be a case of really kind of grooving those Achilles fibres back into position the way they're meant to be. So I'm looking for early-ish in the new year, maybe late Feb, March. That's what I'm kind of aiming for. But it'll be a case of when I'm fit, it's going to be the fittest I've ever been. It's going to be the most dedicated, the most hungriest I've ever been. And then when I'm fit, fingers crossed, touch wood, I'm due a bit of good luck and good fortune. I'm going to be fit, for a long time. And 2015, I can just so many fights out. I can fight, every month, and really get busy and stay busy and crack on with my career.
No, definitely. And will that be something next year you'd like to? You said you want to take as many fights as you possibly can. Will that be both sides of the Atlantic? Of course, you win gold promotions.
I was actually over with. I had a meeting with Oscar De La Hoya and the rest of the Golden Boy team. I actually went over to watch the Hopkins Kovalev fight in Atlantic City a couple of weeks ago, and me and my team went over there. And we had a good meeting for a couple of hours with Oscar and the boys there, and it was good. Actually, we kind of devised a plan and a strategy. It looks really good. My mouth was wet. I was
salivating.
And so yes, I salivated at the thought of next year. I could not wait. But obviously, I can't implement it until I'm 100% fit and healthy. But they were like, right, we want you fighting, we want you fighting every month. We want you really busy, active, getting new experience, kind of serving your apprenticeship, so to speak. And so, yeah, so it sounds good. So I think it'll be more, obviously I said I'll be flying over in America. When I fought in Vegas in May this year, I went over there and I was there for about just under 2 weeks before. So I didn't want to I want to do it properly. Even though I was fighting a guy who was decent, he wasn't bad, the guy I fought, but obviously he wasn't Gerald McClellan. He wasn't against the Golovkin by any stretch of imagination, but he was decent test at the time for my 6th fight. But I could have went over there, on a week's notice, on 5 days in advance to fight and boxed, and probably would have won and come back. But I want to do things properly. I want to do things every time I fight, I want it to be so important. It's like a world title fight, so I want to go over there 2 weeks in advance. I want to kind of acclimatise, do everything properly. So, and when I do that, when I came back, I was really jet lagged, and it took me about 2 weeks to kind of get over it. It took me a good 2 or 3 weeks before I was back in the gym training up to the speed where I was before going over there. So when I do fight in America, particularly on the West Coast, it does take away 2 or 3 weeks afterwards, because you've got to kind of go over the jet lag. And if you don't, if you just train through the jet lag, 3 or 4 months down the line, you're going to pick up an injury because you're just going to be tired and you're going to be jaded.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a case of, I'll fight in England more because it makes more sense to fight in England and to build up a fan base at home. And hopefully I'll have a couple of fights next year, in my local region in East Anglia. Hopefully I'll get to fight in Norwich a couple of times next year, and maybe in Ipswich as well. Really kind of bring professional boxing back to Norfolk and Suffolk, and the area where I'm from. So I'm really looking forward to that, and headlining a few my own kind of local shows. So it should be good. Actually, I'm looking forward to New Year, and I can't wait just to kind of crack on. But like I said, it can't start until I'm 100% and fit and healthy.
No, definitely. And of course, you're in the middleweight division, and that division, especially domestically, is really hotting up. You mentioned Golovkin there, and he's got a fight in February against Martin Murray. You've got Andy Lee going out to Vegas to fight for a world title. And then you've got the domestic clash in a couple of weeks between Billy Joe Saunders and Chris Eubank Jr.
Oh, it's exciting, isn't it? It's really exciting. It's a bit like... those guys have been like Saunders has been playing for 6.5 years now, and Eubank about 4. And obviously, I'm a long way behind those guys in terms of experience. I've been playing for 18 months, and half those months unfortunately I've been injured. But I've got those guys on my radar. Obviously not now because like I said, they're well more experienced than me. But in the next 18 months to 2 years. Those are the guys I want to fight. I would absolutely love it. Like, if Martin Murray could beat Golovkin, I'd absolutely love it. It's a hell of a task, but, I think if any middleweight out there, he's got the potential to kind of cause him problems. I think it's Martin Murray, he's a hell of a fighter himself. So Andy Lee as well, he's got tough sides since Karbov, but Karbov ain't a fighter he was as an amateur. Karbov was a hell of a fighter, and he didn't even manage to win the middle. At the Olympic Games, he got big before the middle stages, but I think he can fight Karbov, but it's not that hard of a task going over there and beating Karbov. And he's not even the champion, obviously. It's a vacant belt Andy Lee's fighting for, so it's good in that respect. He's got a great opportunity. And obviously, he said Saunders and Eubank, fighting for the British and Commonwealth and European titles, which all 3 of those belts will be on my radar. Like I said, when I get over this injury in the next 18 months, they'll all be on my radar. And after that, I want to be fighting at the very best in the middleweight division. So it's exciting. It's a really exciting period to be not just a fan of boxing, British boxing in the middleweights, but and to be an active fighter as well.
No, definitely. And there's no love lost between yourself and Chris Eubank Jr. and Billy Joe is a former Olympian like yourself. What have you made of the build-up to this fight, and the Eubank's not turning up to certain press conferences, etc.?
Yeah, I think it's been it's funny because it would have been good to see him turn up and for the old scuffle, because at the end of that sells fights. I'm sure Frank Warren would have wanted Eubank Jr. to turn up and maybe go head to head, and maybe a little shove here and an argument there, a few choice words there, because it's going to drive traffic towards Box Nation, and people will obviously subscribe to Box Nation. So I understand that because he hasn't gone, by not going, that's caused a lot of people to talk about the fight, particularly in the sport and industry, and therefore, I'm pretty sure it's going to drive traffic towards Box Nation, obviously, when the fight does come next weekend. So, yeah, I think it's been good. I think I personally would like it to have been a bit more spicy. Again, obviously, by Eubank Jr. turning up and kind of having a go. I think it's been good. It's been good. I think it's going to make for quite an entertaining night next Saturday. I think that fight will surpass in expectation and hype, and probably the excitement in the fight. I think it's going to surpass the actual main event of Fury and Chisora. I think that's it's been done before anyway. It's it's going to be a decent fight. Don't get me wrong, 2 very good heavyweights, but I think the excitement of the middleweight fight is going to be better, and I think it's going to really steal the show, that one.
No, I totally agree. I think it's the Eubank and Billy Joe fight. That's the one that's really captivated the public. And will you be attending the Excel that night? And what's your prediction? Who do you think will win that fight?
Yeah, I haven't got tickets yet. I'll either get, I might get on the phone to Frank and see if he can give me some tickets, but I haven't got tickets yet, but I do want to come down for that one. Yeah, I think that'd be a good night. And again, not just as a fan, but honestly, I want to watch up close and see, how these guys are, up close. Because boxing's, as you know, Josh, boxing's different live than on the TV. It's much better up close, and you kind of get the sense for it, and you can see how hard punches are, and see, like the little grimaces on the boxer's face when they take punches or when they land a punch. And like I said, I want to be fighting these guys a couple of years' time, so it'd be nice for me to kind of go there and do my homework. Obviously, homework way in advance, but I'll do my homework and just see how far away I feel I am to these guys. So that'll be good. Who do I think will win? It's a tough one. I was actually chatting to my mates last night about who I think will win. It's a tough one because I think Billy Joe Saunders, he's fought the better caliber of opposition. He's fought the better guys by quite a far distance. And in his last 12 months, I think he hasn't struggled, but he hasn't looked as scintillating as maybe he'd have liked. Whereas on the other hand, Eubank Jr. has looked scintillating every bit, every bit I know the real deal. However, he's boxed useless people. I can't use enough adjectives to describe how just poor his opponents have been. Everyone has been really poor. I've probably the best person I've fought in my 7 fights today. Probably better than the best guy he's fought in his 17, 18 fights and 4 years as a pro. So that kind of sums it up, really. And I guess it's easy to look good, bashing up bad people because you're just a bully. But when it's hard, obviously, to look good against somebody who's equally as good, which I think Saunders is with his awkward southpaw style, and But I don't think either boxer are world class yet. I think they're both real good fighters. But it's a tough one. I think Saunders fought at a higher caliber, so with experience and stuff, it kind of leaned towards him. I think Eubank's probably better than anybody Saunders has fought. Of recent memory as well. So I think it'll gel quite nicely. I think it'll gel. Both camps must be confident because both have got a lot to lose. Obviously, Saunders gave up his #1 mandatory position with the WBO to enable the Achilles to take that fight. So he must be confident of winning the fight. Otherwise, you'd fight for the world title rather than fighting Eubank Jr. Eubank Jr. obviously he's got a lot of hype about him. He's got a good opportunity really because if he loses, he lost to a guy who's a triple champion at the minute. But if he wins, he kind of leapfrogs people who probably deserve the shot more than him, and he's a new champion. So yeah, it's an interesting fight. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a draw. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a draw.
And then Frank Warren will be happy because we get to see #2.
Yeah, Frank won't be sitting there ringside rubbing his hands thinking, brilliant, let's do this again. And his dad, same thing as Eubank, his dad was always involved in a couple of dodgy decisions. He lost a few fights, which he didn't lose, obviously, on the scorecards. He should have lost. So I wouldn't be surprised, if it goes over, if that same thing happens again. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a draw. I wouldn't be surprised if Eubank wins. But like I said, it's not a blatant robbery. But I wouldn't be surprised if Eubank wins. But Saunders probably should have won, and then they'll do it again, and maybe have a look at a 2 or 3 trilogy. So I think it'll be an entertaining night. And that's why I'm quite intrigued to go and watch because. It's not a foregone conclusion like a lot of boxing matches are nowadays.
And what do you make of the tactic that Billy Joe has come out and said if he loses this fight that he will retire?
Yeah, I don't think he will because that's just hot air in it really. Because I don't know the lad, but what else has he got in his life other than boxing? So when people say that, it's just that's basically them just saying they haven't given losing a second thought, which is rightly so. You shouldn't think about losing when you go into a big fight. Because I'm sure the other guys haven't think about losing. If you do go into the ring thinking you're going to lose, and chances are you probably will. So, but I just think that's because if he did, if he did, and Frank Warren said to him, "I'll go, I'll come back fight, an easy fight, 50 grand." You're not going to say, "Nah, that's right," because in the heat of the moment I said I'm going to retire if I lose, and I'm going to forego this 50 grand and an easy fight. because of something I said, 3 months ago. So I think, that's just like hot air, really.
No, definitely. Well, thank you so much for your time, Anthony. Best of luck with your recovery from injury, and hopefully speak to you soon.
Cheers, Josh. Appreciate that, mate. Thank you.
Right. Take care, mate.
Cheers. Take care, mate. Bye.
Bye.